Let's explore watershed health with benthic macroinvertebrates.
But we might ask ourselves, is this water good quality water or is it bad quality water? So we're going to perform a short study here to give you guys an understanding of what a certain type of organism can tell us, called a benthic macroinvertebrate.
What's that?
Benthic macroinvertebrate is actually an organism that we can look at that lives within the water. But the easiest way to explain that, Tommy, is to break it down, okay?
Okay.
The term invertebrate means that it doesn't have a spine. So oftentimes they have a crunchy shell on the outside. The term macro refers to it being big enough that we can see with our eyes. And then the term benthic refers to where they live, as they live on the bottom of the stream, or oftentimes referred to as bottom dwelling.
Wow, that's fascinating. What can I find turning rocks over in a nearby stream?
Make sure you know how deep it is before you step in, even if you have to take a stick and make sure that you can get to the bottom. That's one of the most important things. So what we're going to do now is proceed on collecting a benthic macroinvertebrate sample. Using this net, Tommy and myself are going to kick up all the rocks and debris upstream in order to dislodge the invertebrates, and they will float into the net. If you're using a smaller net, you can scrape along the bottom, and if you don't have a net, you can even turn over some rocks to see what you found. Okay, so let's come on up here, Tommy. And we're gonna stand upstream, and we're gonna kick up all the stuff upstream, okay? Okay, you think we caught any bugs, Tommy?
Yeah, in a second.
Okay, so as you can see, there's a lot of debris and muck in here. So one thing I want to do is to shake it out to rinse out any of that additional debris. Also, we can look in there. Do you see any sticks or twigs that we can pull out?
Yeah, I see one.
Pull out that stick. Okay, and this will now be our benthic invertebrate sample. The next step that we'll do is we're going to put these in our trays and look at them. The next step is to place them into trays. Now what my kids are going to do is to sort out these invertebrates by merely picking them out of the water.
Like this.
Like that, and we're going to put them in the clean water so we can identify them. Once we put them into the clear tray, we're going to sort them and place them into the other petri dishes you have here so that we can identify the major groups. In order to do a benthic macroinvertebrate collection, you do not need fancy equipment such as the trays, the pipettes, or the tweezers that we have here. If you don't have fancy trays like this, you can use things such as a recycled Cool Whip container or things such as yogurt containers in order to sort your bugs into. Another thing, if you don't have the pipettes or the tweezers, is you can use simple spoons such as these in order to collect your benthic macroinvertebrates. In order to collect the benthic invertebrate using a spoon, you'll just get close to them and lift up when you got a benthic macroinvertebrate. Now we're going to take our handy little key pictures or representations of what a lot of the different bugs are.
This huge one right here is a crane fly.
Find and look carefully at a critter. Some may have body parts like an insect, and others may look like worms.
3 groups of aquatic insects are sensitive to pollution. Their common names are the mayflies, stoneflies, and caddisflies. They are also known by their scientific name, Ephemeroptera, Plecoptera, and Trichoptera. All the species in these groups have two stages of life, an aquatic larval stage and an adult stage. Most of them spend nearly all their life in the water as larvae. Then as adults, leave the water and spend the last part of their life in the terrestrial ecosystem outside of the stream. Mayflies, stoneflies, and caddisflies have been useful because they are particularly sensitive to pollution. Mayflies are known to be sensitive to pollution from heavy metals. Stoneflies are very good indicators of clean, cold, and well-oxygenated water. We tend to see them in streams in the mountains, but if temperatures are increased, or if there's lower dissolved oxygen levels, or pollution of any kind, you will see the stoneflies disappearing. A high number of different types of mayflies, stoneflies, and caddisflies, or the richness of the different species, is a good indicator of water quality. This is also known as the EPT, species richness. Even though they are small, benthic macroinvertebrates are the lifeline of aquatic ecosystems. The final step my kids and I did was to return the invertebrates back to the river.
Sun come over me and kiss the raindrops, the cool embrace of a summer breeze. Mother Nature, you are all I truly need.
I'm Andy Otto, Executive Director of the Santa Fe Watershed Association, and I approve of this message.